Were you, or were you not, on a gay cruise?
No, you're 120% dick pic.
Everybody that age, they're sperminator.
Yeah.
We don't care about anything else. We're a walking hard on looking for a hole.
That's. I have to say you're right on that one. Oh, my God.
A stiff breeze comes through the room and you return the favor.
Got her in. Oh. Somewhere on the outside of this building, there is a hole where squirrels come in.
Better than a hole where dicks come in.
Yeah, better than that.
Going down the stairs to wash the laundry. What the hell? Shh. Pizza. Stop! Stop it now! I order you to stop! I'm still touching myself.
Yeah!
All young bitches want to do is pop pills, smoke weed, get drunk, lay around, suck dick, eat hot Cheetos, charge they phone, get a sew and weave, twerk, be bisexual, eat McDonald's, wash they pussy in the sink, lie, take selfies, and talk shit through Wi-Fi because they phone never on.
I think washing they pussy in the sink is my favorite part. The Vietnamese trade in dongs. Figuratively and literally, I'm sure.
Oh, my God, that's hilarious.
I did decide to look it up. 500,000 dongs is a good night for Pop's ex.
Like most women, he's an emotional thinker.
Good God.
I mean, that's part of the problem we're having now in our society is we have a bunch of emotional thinkers that want the world to, to fall in line with their emotions. That's not... look, reality doesn't give a shit about emotions.
It's my lived truth. Fuck your lived truth.
No, it's not. It's your perspective.
Kiss my ass.
Literally like, hey, Sergeant Pop, you got to turn your bear suit. I'm like, over my dead body. No. Just give me a statement of charges. Yeah. You're never getting this back. Yeah. You can suck it.
I'm going to wear this with my Russian coat.
you will bury me in this. Hey! Why you got to fucking be like that, man?
Because I'm an asshole, and I learned from the best. I'm sitting across from him, and I'm pointing at you with all four fingers.
All right, first of all, the Russian jacket is World War II surplus.
I'll send you a picture of it, Sarge.
Yeah. Okay.
I got you standing wearing it with holding two giant buckets like you just collected all the chum from behind the dump dumpster at the bar, and you're going to go home and make ice cream out of it.
What's up, savages? Terrence Pop here with another episode that actually is live from the Lair. And today we're going to be talking about BlackRock and other funds that are using your money against you. They're weaponizing the money of this country to try to brainwash, force you into behaviors that you don't want, ignore the Constitution, and destroyed this country from the bottom up and top down, which, in my opinion, they are succeeding at to a certain degree. Now, we just have to ask a question. How much is your soul and dignity and pride worth? For me, it's priceless. I'm not tampering with that shit at all. What I'm trying to tell everyone out there, corruption is expensive. We have senators who literally are on the verge of bankruptcy, getting elected, and within 4 years, they're multi-million-dollar individuals based on a income from the seat that they're sitting in, anywhere between $200,000 and $300,000. And also, said individuals on the regular vote themselves raises despite the fact that their approval rating is, I don't know, somewhere in the cesspool. That needs to be corrected. That in itself is straight up corruption. Then we have all the insider trading going on. That's been going on for years and years, completely ignored by all of the alphabet agencies. I haven't heard of anybody, at the top who's representing us getting elected and busted for insider trading. We had Martha Stewart, who literally took a phone call from one of her brokers who got some information he shouldn't have got. She acted on it, and she cooled her jets in the federal prison, for about, a year and a half, 2 years. Now, granted, it was, a summer home prison, but that's just the way it goes. We have today basically a layout. It's 4 years old, but it was created in 2020 prior to the insurrection or the installation of the dictator in chief, and it has aged quite well, and we will cover that today. There's things on this flow chart that weren't even on the radar 4 years ago, i.e. Ukraine. Now, because of all of the craziness that's going on with our election cycle this time, all of a sudden, Ukraine wants to stop the war because the money laundering gravy train, if Trump gets elected, hopefully comes to a screeching goddamn halt. Now, today helping us out, we have the famous, or might I say the infamous, Battle Dwarf. And then we have Jimmy Bones flipping switches and pushing buttons. Let's get on with this cluster.
Button push it. First, I'd like to come right out and say I was told that black is slimming. They lied. Flat out, they lied.
Well,
Do you like our new shirts? Blake picked these out. The shit show. I'm sure he's introduced them, but this is my first time in the new shit show supervisor shirt. Kind of like it, but I feel like we should form a bowling team. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Very quickly over on Rumble, but there was a chat that went by and my brain misread it, so I have to made it. Walmart had clearance perenniums. I wouldn't buy any. I said I wouldn't buy any. I lied. My brain it says perennials, clear as day, but my brain translated it to perenniums.
Perenniums. That's the mistake I would make because I am the dyslexia.
I know, but for some reason you might be infectious.
Maybe. I don't know
Yeah.
what to tell you.
Typhoid pop is a terrifying thing.
Yeah. Ugh.
So this BlackRock organization has been around for a while, and a lot of people have heard of them. They came on our radar when I first started working for a security group before the election. 2019 is when we first spun that up and started really doing work and researching. We wanted to know what the terrain looked like.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you're going into an area that you haven't been into before, one of the first things you do is send intelligence in there
IPB.
to do your IPB, intelligence preparation of the battlefield. So we're in there building our terrain, and we come across this thing called BlackRock, and we're like, whoa, it's a big firm. They invest in all sorts of holy fuck.
So, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Now we have BlackRock. Let's name off some of the other ones.
Vanguard, Sequoia, and let's see what else I've got here. There's a couple more. Franklin Templeton was at that time. Now, I want you to bear in mind what you're about to look at. We put together between 2019 and right the beginning of 2020 because we started to notice some strange goings on with this Blackwater firm.
BlackRock.
Or BlackRock. Sorry, Eric Prince. Didn't mean to tag you to BlackRock, but I bet I can.
Probably. Now,
Probably. Allegedly.
when I started talking at the beginning of the show,
Yeah.
I talked about corruption and
Yeah.
how it's so expensive.
Yes.
This should be painfully easy to track this money.
Yes. We did this all off of open source. Nothing here is from anything chicanery. I didn't tap a single one of my inside sources. All of this is from public records. And we made a point of that because we realized we're poking the really big bear with the really big money. We knew we were doing that. So we covered our asses by making sure that none of this information came from anywhere but open source.
Which is allowed.
We didn't want the suited knock at the door. You get the police knock at the door where they either knock and ask you a lot of questions or they just kick the door in.
Yep.
And then you get the suits and briefcases knock at the door, which is, in my opinion, a lot scarier because they're going to screw your life for like decades.
Yeah, pretty much. But here's the thing. Okay. At the end of the day, these funds, these super funds that are being weaponized against you are your retirement plans. And we have nugs, many of them aren't even in the fucking country, controlling your money and using it against you as a weapon. What in the hell is going on in this cluster screw we have called the real world now?
Nice dodge of the F-bomb there. That wasn't obvious at all.
Swear word redacted, Lord's name in vain.
It's not the Lord's name. My very Catholic grandmother used it as an adjective, so
I got you.
there you go. At any rate, this BlackRock thing, to answer your question, what they've done is create their own world, if you will, that operates outside of all international boundaries.
So you mean one that skirts the monopoly laws we have here?
Yeah.
Yes.
It does that as well. It skirts most of our laws and a lot of European laws, and they move all of their money around in such a way that you can't pin them to a country, and they never really stick a proper face on anything. BlackRock does have a guy named Larry Fink who's supposed to be the head of the organization. But all you ever hear is that he's the head of the organization. You never really hear about him doing things. He'll give an opinion here and there. All of the other stuff is done by their underlings, and it's like Spectre from the James Bond
I was just going to say that.
It is. It's just like fucking Spectre from the James Bond movies. Now, here's the thing, and it's going to require a whole second show. There's an exact Chinese equivalent called the China Entrepreneur Club. And it's structured almost exactly the same way, and it does almost exactly the same things. But it is controlled by the Chinese Communist Party because, of course, it's all controlled by the Chinese Communist Party.
Yeah, in fact, most of the corporations in China have a clause into their bylaws, meaning they can be taken over by Big Daddy Communist China
Correct.
at any time for the betterment of the country.
Yeah, that's a true story. I'm watching some of the comments go by. I want to comment on the comments, but we can't get involved in that. Let's just say some of you in the comments are not wrong, okay?
We will get there.
We're not wrong. So long ago, like 1981 or 1982, this bears on the topic. I collected Dragon magazine because I was a D&D.
So did I.
Yeah, there you go. And there was a short story in one about these two wizards that hated each other and they fought all the time. But when the closer they came to each other, the lesser their powers became. And one day they realized that if they protected each other and separated, they could fight proxy wars using nations. So they shielded each other with protective spells and began fighting each other using these proxy wars. And by God, if that doesn't sound like what's going on today between the China Entrepreneur Club and BlackRock.
Yes.
And I remembering that story and going, could they have known? Did somebody know something at Dragon Magazine?
Well,
because that's before TSR bought them. It was still Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes. Well, my thing is this is playing out in front of everybody's eyes. All right. This is no longer being done in the back rooms like it was in the 80s and 90s in the early 2000s. This is on Front Street for everyone to see because they think they are untouchable. And for the most part, they have been. I am hoping that we can change that in the near future without resorting to a two-way rifle range event. I do not want to see violence. I want to see the tone of the nation come down a few pegs. And maybe we can have some civil discussions with the non-individuals who are basically making decisions and taking actions strictly on emotions, because that never works out well.
Do tell.
Well, I write about this in my book. If you navigate the world, or if you go into an adversarial event and you are motivated by anger, you will only maneuver in 2 dimensions. If you're motivated by hate, 1 dimension. So if you're going to go into an adversarial event, you must remain calm, receptive, ability to move left or right, lateral movement. And that is how you win. You win by flanking, outmaneuvering, going around, over, or through obstacles. Static defense almost always loses. There you go. Sorry.
You done?
I'm done.
Thank you.
Now back to our regular programming.
So anyway, let's get down to the nitty gritty here. Let's talk about these BlackRock clowns. And I want to take it to Larry Fink, who is the CEO.
It's not on the screen.
What's happened?
It's not on the screen.
View tab. I should have hit the button. Did I hit the button and then Jimmy hit the button at the same time?
I don't know.
Nope.
What's
We only got the roadmap there showed up.
I didn't add it to the stage because I'm an idiot. There, added it to the stage. There we go. We good?
Yep.
Okay, so you see BlackRock at the bottom. You see Larry Fink up here toward the top. And this is going to be a little herky-jerky because this thing is huge in real life. Larry Fink, climate change activities and demands. He's the CEO of BlackRock. He's the guy behind the whole zero emissions by 2050. And he's just into everything. But in 2018, we found him at the National Committee at U.S.-China Relations event. Now, who's there? Henry Kissinger and a guy named Cui Tangkai, who was the Chinese ambassador.
Wow.
Biden's chief of staff, Wally Adamayo, worked for Larry Fink. Look at all of these ties. This map is so convoluted and crazy that going through the whole thing would take the whole night. 2006, he acquires Merrill Lynch, gets a 16.5% stake in Bank of China Venture.
Wow.
2010, quote, the idea was, why is this thing jerking around on me? Don't jerk around on me. That's not funny, and I don't like it.
It's a memory thing. You got a lot of stuff going through the memory.
Yeah. The idea was many clients come to BlackRock because they want global exposure. We need and should be in China. This is the point where BlackRock and China, the China Entrepreneur Club, form this giant specter organization, and it has 2 giant tentacles.
Let me correct you. They want to be the New World Order.
That's the WEF that wants to be the New World Order.
Mm-hmm.
This is the moment in time where all of the power in the form of all of the finances coalesces. Now the WEF goes, we can begin doing that thing that we do.
Yep.
This is the moment right here in 2010. So their goal is zero emissions by 2050. Action via board of Black. Oh, oops. Look how large this thing is. This is really huge.
That's what she said.
I was just going to say.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you for avoiding that homo suspicion point. Okay, this thing is like has got a life of its own. I apologize for it flying all over the place.
Yeah.
But as you can see, it is being extremely uncooperative.
Pain in the wiener. But, I mean, when you look at this flow chart,
yeah,
they actually mapped out who talks to who has relations,
yeah,
in a non-gay way with who. It could be gay, I don't know. I'm
So
just putting that in there.
remember, this is 2019.
Yes.
DEI didn't really seriously kick in until about 2022, right?
I would say DEI started as soon as the dictator in chief was installed.
2021 then, right about there. Well, here's where it comes from, though. It's Larry Fink. Action via board of BlackRock against companies who do not comply with climate demands, requiring companies to work through BlackRock,
Mm-hmm.
to disclose diversity of workforce, including all demographics, pressuring companies working through BlackRock to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion. It wasn't even called DEI yet.
But look how well that has worked out.
Oh, I know it backfired on them. Take direct action against companies working through BlackRock via voting that does not exhibit diversity by 2022. There it is. Vote to remove company board directors who do not comply with BlackRock demands. So this is the financial coup.
Yep.
The political coup is the WEF through the White House in our case, and whatever country you're in, whatever your parliament is.
And listen, BlackRock is literally blackmailing other corporations with your own money.
That's exactly what that is. Now, let's see if I can get over here without this whole thing collapsing. Because remember, this is 2019, 2020, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Look, here's Hunter Biden. What's Burisma? Oh, my. What's going on over here?
Yep.
Demands investigation into the money laundering U.S. $7.4 billion for ex-President Viktor Yanukovych. Ukraine, President of Ukraine, Vladimir Zelensky, Prosecutor General Viktor Shokin is the one who was fired under Biden's orders. And you can see this line here. This will lead back to the Biden administration.
Mm-hmm.
So BlackRock acquires Franklin Templeton, which has ties to the Democratic Party, and invested specifically in CCP companies. We've got here BlackRock has also China investment opportunities for investors. This is where they open the doors.
Hold up a minute real quick. I don't want to blow your mind here, but investing in CCP, the minute you put any money into China, it's no longer yours.
Yeah, it's gone.
They're just basically giving you the privilege of using it, and maybe they'll let you take it out. That's how China works.
Yes.
And your retirement funds are going to a communist country that can literally turn off their money at any time they want and screw you over bad. And we have people who aren't even in this country controlling your fucking retirement funds and risking them in China. What could go wrong?
Possibly go wrong. So the attendees at that previously mentioned 2018 National Committee on U.S.-China Relations included Jamie Dimon from J.P. Morgan Chase, David Solomon from Goldman Sachs, who got full control of Futures Venture, and Goldman Sachs got controlling ownership of their Chinese security ventures. John Thornton, who is the former senior executive go-between from the "you're not going to like this and I don't care" Trump administration. If you don't think they're all in bed together, you're not paying attention. Okay?
Correct.
Trump may believe certain things that are good for the country. The people who work around him,
they're all in on. They're all in on this.
It was demonstrated by his administration. You could tell. So China, this dates back to the 1990s, some of this here, allows only Chinese companies to have dominance over every sector of finance in China. It's the fastest growing market for financial services. What's going over here? The U.S. former Treasury Secretary Hank Paulson and former Premier Zhu Rongji in the 1990s, they're all, where does this go? It goes to Goldman Sachs. And look, from there, it goes to the Trump administration. Meanwhile, BlackRock has its hands all over the Biden administration. Look how huge this damn thing is. We'll put this graphic up where you can get it and have a look at it. It's connected to the Obama administration. I don't want to overly dwell on this map, but I really needed you to see just how deep these tentacles go and how long this has been going on.
All right, now let's put this out there. If you guys want a copy of this,
oh yeah, I made this. It's yours.
We'll email it to you. Just send us an email. Yep. We'll forward it to you. Whatever. It's cool.
Yeah. Actually, I have this in the emails. I can put this up on the website.
Okay.
So that it's all there for everyone to see. So I can get that done. I can get that put up here tonight.
Yeah, and remember, this is 4 years old. Take pieces of this, and go do online research. Go look at open source The Dow records, the Dun and Bradstreet records, all of that stuff, corporate records, and like Yahoo Finance is a good resource for a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
And
I used to
you
use
can
Yahoo.
see how much this has expanded, how much this has completely blown up.
Yeah, I used to use Yahoo Finance for doing covered calls when I used to day trade.
There you go.
So yeah, it's a good deal.
There you go. But this is, let me back this off so you can see the actual extent of this thing. That was 4 years ago, and this was as much as we could get for the time that we had. I think we had about a week of prep before we went onto the ground.
But just imagine now, we've had war going on in Ukraine for 3 years with, well, was it 68, $90 billion that's already been
Something like that, and another
sent to them?
$6.4 billion today.
Yeah.
The Ukraine thing, we've had China going across our border. We've had China taking over our trade. We've had the WEF corrupting most of our politicians. Whitmer's entirely owned by the WEF. She doesn't even make any bones about it. She goes there every year to get advice from them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not going there for meetings.
And if you don't know who Whitmer is, she's the governor of Michigan.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting that not everybody lives here.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what BlackRock looks like. So, just recently, Wall Street, BlackRock's think voices concern Trump's Truth Social seeks Big Bang debut, Visa, MasterCard to lose $30 billion and more. The banks are going to collapse, okay? Don't put all of your eggs in one basket. I had a really nice job about a year and a half ago, and then a third of the banking industry collapsed, and all of a sudden I didn't have a job anymore, along with a third of my company.
Yep. Now, also, you got to look at China as well. They're literally going to have a real estate collapse.
It's already happening.
Yes. Their infrastructure is falling apart.
Yes.
It is going to be a shit show over there, and it's going to happen here as well. We already have problems with our infrastructure.
Yeah.
And I would say mainly it's happening over here because our fucking money isn't in our own country. It's somewhere else with some douchebag making shots and trying to influence or blackmail people with your own money.
Well, all the workers now are foreign too.
Yeah.
They don't have any interest in making our infrastructure good, solid, competent, functional, and lasting. They don't have any interest in doing any of that stuff. It's not their shit. They don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up. As for China, China is really only 70 years old. Mao killed anybody with a brain in 1953.
That was brutal too.
Yeah, he purged everyone. So they're just having to relearn how to build the infrastructure for a major city. All that knowledge is gone. They bring in advisors all the time, but that doesn't matter if you don't have the brain power in your own country to do these things. Because a city, they're big, in case you haven't noticed. Cities tend to be large. From America's second largest coal port, seeing a temporary shutdown to Visa and MasterCard, possibly losing $30 billion. Here's a look at recent developments. Okay, that's interesting, but where are we here? I am looking for Truth's blockbuster debut. This is from March of this year. Cash-strapped, ex-U.S. President Donald Trump's social media platform, Truth Social, made a blockbuster debut on the bourses. Shares of the company, Trump Media, trades with the sticker DJT for Trump's initials, jumped to $70 a piece, but settled at $58. The ex-president now has a stake worth over $4 billion in Trump Media and Technology. During the first 9 months of the operation, the firm lost around $50 million and brought in $33 million in revenue. Why is this relevant? Because BlackRock bought a ton of these shares. They went in and just bought into Truth.
Yep.
Because that's what they do. They have these guys that do all of the bean counting and the investing and stuff like that. You want to know about the math? Talk to that guy over there. I don't know shit about.
Well, right now,
how does it basically work? Can you ballpark describe?
Okay. Now, typically when a company goes public, you have lawyers get involved and they come up with a number of shares. Then you have the principals will get reserve some of those shares right off the bat for, because they take out the loans, invested a lot of their own time, what have you. And then they break the rest of the shares up, and then you get institutions usually get first crack at buying the shares, And then after that's done, then you have, the individual investors. It's a hierarchy. That's just the way it works. Typically, if you want to control a corporation, you have the money. As soon as it goes public, you can buy a majority share in that company, and then you have a very good foothold to steer that company where you want it to go, be it to success or ruin. Because right now, the Trump stock is at 32.91, and it's down $1.79 just today.
Oh, you're over there cruising stocks while I'm reading this.
I want to see what was going on.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. I like that.
But you could see, like, if we do the max timeline, all right, so it came out roughly, let's see, when they opened up.
I like this. This is
at
technical on the fly. You realize that, right?
Yeah, it came out at like $98 a share, went radically down, that happens a lot when you do IPOs. Yeah, it'll shoot up, and then the interest kind of wanes and it goes back down. It's gone up again, roughly to just slightly higher than it was. That was in 2022. It made it to almost $100.
Mm.
And then after that, with all of the legal problems Trump has had, it is tanked. And just now, after the assassination attempt fail, it's starting to go back up. I mean, it was all the way down to like $17.32 a share, which is shit. All right. Now, my money is on, if Trump gets elected, you're going to see this stock go back up into $100, $120 range, depending upon how his Truth Social works out.
I think there's a lot of moving pieces at play here.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, I worked as an investment banker and financial planner.
Yeah.
I got to look behind the curtain, and it was still really, I would have to say, a little bit too complex for the popster.
Is it really the arcane sorcery that everybody describes it as?
Oh, yes. There's all kinds of crazy shit that goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I know nothing at all about that world.
Well, I'm just saying that, I don't remember all the lingo anymore because I haven't done it in a couple of decades. But that's, in a nutshell, from a grunt, how the whole thing works.
There you go.
Now, what I find really odd is we had some very big financial sources, BlackRock and some of these other ones included, who the day before the assassination attempt shorted into this stock. Basically, they were betting it was going to fall in value, and then they would profit from the difference of the short.
Oh, you mean this?
Yes.
This here?
Yeah.
Trump stock shorted heavily day before the assassination attempt?
Yep.
Why, that's awfully coincidental.
Oh, yes, of course.
It is. You know what's awfully coincidental? Having 770 viewers on Rumble and only 148 likes.
Come on, man. You're going to get a naked Hillary.
It's just a button, man. You don't even have to give any money. You just smash the button.
Trump stock shorted heavily day before assassination attempts. No, really, the like button smashes help amp the viewership.
Yes, please.
It helps us. So be nice. Tap the like button. After an assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump would send shockwaves through the political landscape, Trump media shares surged more than 60% in the early trading hours Monday before retracting by 20% to the valuation of approximately $37 as to close on July 16th. However, a fact bound to raise a few questions is that the short positions against Truth Social stock doubled between July 1st and July 12th from 7 to 15 million shares, in what a record share of shorted for DJT stock since its trading debut. This surge indicates that individuals or large organizations anticipated a significant drop in the share's value by July 15th.
Correct.
A scenario that would have materialized had Trump died in Pennsylvania.
Well, they would have made an insane amount of money because basically when Trump dies, that stock pretty much becomes valueless. So whatever that stock was the day before the assassination attempt, say it was at $25 and it goes to zero, you short that stock, guess what? You get $25 per share. You're basically betting on it to fail.
Yeah.
That's how this crazy financial system we have works.
Yeah, that's nuts. Honest to God, I have no idea how any of that stuff operates. It would be like playing dice in Vegas for me.
Yes, pretty much.
Because it's like, oh, that looks good. I'll take 4 of those and 3 of those.
Yeah.
It's like,
And
I beg your pardon me.
when I used to do like swing trading, I only really beat the market by 4 or 5% when you take all your losses and gains and you average it out.
Yeah.
Which is okay for,
Well, that's odd because our politicians seem to beat the market
by
20-30%.
65%.
65%. Nancy Pelosi?
Nancy
Was that
Pelosi.
the Pelosi trade?
60, that is unheard of.
That's impressive. I don't think that BlackRock itself pulls off trades like that.
I know I lost my keys to hypothetical end, but we're going to go there. Hypothetically, let's just say I get struck by lightning and I become like a financial wizard. And
Like John Travolta in that movie.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
If I take $100,000, which, I could probably get my hands on, and inside of 2 years turned it into 100 million, I would have every alphabet agency knocking on my door, wondering what the hell I'm doing. But we have senators and Congress people doing the exact same thing and literally get a pass.
It's a true story. That's a true story.
Now, I want to make an announcement.
What's
This
that?
channel has been radically demonetized. Every bit you send in helps out. I don't believe there's any other news networks covering the stories we cover and the way we do it with profanity, truth, comedy, and let's just be honest, very, very dark humor.
Yeah, it just get dark in here?
Yes. But here's the thing. As a grunt, you have to learn how to laugh at said things or you will go insane. So there you go.
So here's the short list, and to me, these look like large numbers for a relatively new stock. Am I correct?
It was a couple years old.
Can you see this?
It's not, but that in the grand scheme of things, it is fairly new.
The potential needed to cover the losses from short positions. You know what? I'm going to dial this up because I have a feeling that not everybody can see this screen so well. There, that should help some people. Pattern raises concerns that some individuals may have had foreknowledge of a plot against former President Trump's life and sought to profit from the expected turmoil.
Listen,
Gosh.
when you put all of the points on the map, as an Intel analyst and a SIGINT guy who pretty much does the same thing but with radios, you can't help but put that picture together.
Yeah.
We have the loss of the radio communications, no coordination between all of the different police organizations on the ground on the fateful day. We literally had footage from a office room inside a building that overlooked the building where the guy was firing from.
Yes.
Ladders. We've got cell phones pinging all over the place. Some of those cell phones are pinging near the FBI offices.
At an office building by
Yes.
the FBI office.
Now, why the hell would a phone be pinging that close to an FBI office building and then pinging out of the assassin's house?
And his
several times?
workplace.
Yeah, and his workplace. That is total quinky-dink, right? Get the hell out of here. This entire thing has been orchestrated from the ground up. They want the United States to fall, and they're literally rubbing our noses in it right now because nobody is doing shit about it.
One of the things that has become very true on the internets that I do not think the left anticipated. They're better at organizing and planning events. This is not questionable. We're very reactive in nature, but the right side, if you will, we're unquestionably the meme lords. We meme the shit out of them, but more importantly, we are really capable of doing the intelligence work that needs to be done on stuff like this. Once one of these events happens, it's like the Augsburgs go berserk.
Yep.
And you can hear them drooling and hissing and drinking their Red Bull and hammering on their keyboards.
Mm-hmm. And all I'm doing,
as they research everything.
I know, and all I do is sit back and go,
watch it. Yeah,
There's
take
another
notes. I do a lot of that.
Yeah, there's another point on the board. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's start connecting them.
Yeah. Oh, these three guys like that idea. Let's write that one down.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. That is like our internet hive mind superpower is researching this stuff, because it all comes to light and everybody dumps it all into chat boards and on social media sites and everything. And you can hear the left frothing at the mouth. They try to get all kinds of chat boards shut down all the time because they can't control the information flow.
Well, and here's the thing. The left, let's just say the progressives, they're communists. They don't want you to use your First Amendment rights so they can fool more of you.
Yes.
And then scare some of you into silence, or just make you quiet by censoring you so they can continue on with their agenda. Fortunately, we have a lot of people in this country who are not falling for this bullshit. And at some point, if it doesn't course correct, it will turn into a dynamic situation and it will be bad for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to have to do the brief rabbit hole moment here.
Okay.
We're going to have to do a show on just how hard they tried to control you, because somebody showed me something last night, a Friends episode, but with the laugh track removed. And when you watch it with the laugh track removed, it's dumb and boring. What are they doing? They're teaching you when to laugh. They're training you like a monkey.
And they've actually been doing that
Years,
since they had sound.
Decades.
Yeah, it's a psychological thing, to be
this.
honest.
It's exactly correct. They figured out that it worked, and then they figured out how to weaponize it. And it's the same with all of our movies, all of the Marvel movies. You're taught to cheer at a specific point. You're taught to root for the specific hero. You're taught to feel bad for the specific villain until he has to die, of course.
Mm-hmm.
It's all programming. We need to do a show on just how gaslit we've become as a culture.
All right.
It's pretty ugly. Not that we don't have 3 other shows, because we do, lined up already.
We'll call it Gaslight USA.
There you go. So BlackRock is involved heavily in this shorting of the stocks. This means the stock is no longer experiencing a high short interest as it did last week. What the hell is wrong with me? Stop that right now.
Too much humidity?
Probably. I do not react well to humidity at all. I died in Miami. I was in Miami for a little while. I was like... A similar occurrence was observed on September 11th, 2001, when substantial bets were placed against the stocks of major airlines. I did not know about that.
It happens all the time.
I'm sure it does, but these things line up.
Well, here's the thing. There's databases you can find online. Some of them you have to be a paid member. But you can actually watch in real time how they call them the hammers, the big, portfolio.
Yeah.
Buy and sell stuff. You can see what they're doing, and literally, if you're good enough, you can get out in front of their trades 3 to 5 days and pick up anywhere from 3 to 11, 12%. You just have to ride the wave. It's kind of like banging a fat chick. You just slap her on the ass and ride it in.
Yeah, but that ends with you losing all of your money anyway.
Yes, it does.
Which is the Thursday night episode.
You are correct.
Subsequent investigations revealed that a single entity in an insider newsletter had tipped off investors, leading them to place fortuitous bets against the top 2 U.S. airlines. Oh, look, a letter from an insider. What a coincidence that must be. So, BlackRock, while it's doing all this trading stuff, is also using the Trump shooter in a BlackRock ad. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen this already. We're not going to belabor you with this one here. But it is one hell of a coincidence. Oh, look, it's behind a paywall.
You can go.
I don't care about it that much. We know this story enough that we can get to it. Basically, the kid turned up in a BlackRock ad.
Yes, I saw that.
And it was strange because everything also lined up along that one moment. And here's this kid in the BlackRock ad, and BlackRock is shorting Trump's stock, and people are getting anonymous tip letters, and so on and so forth. It just, everything lines up just a little too well. Their Spectre in my opinion.
It lines up to the left.
Apparently, yeah.
I got you.
There's a little bit of Bolshevik going on there, or
Yeah.
Bolshevik.
Bolshevik. Why don't you call it bullshit?
Bolshevik.
Bolshevik works.
Bolshevik. There's some Bolshevik going on.
Because listen, we have the internet now, and unless they really decide to get stupid, it's going to be really hard for them to hide the craziness that they're doing now.
So the other day, and this was proven to be a bug released by an idiot on a Friday with no plan to roll it back. And all of these things are lining up to look like maybe that wasn't quite an accident either. So who owns all of the stock in CrowdStrike Holdings? How do I read this chart here? What am I looking at here? Ownership by percentage. This is BlackRock owns.
Yeah. They tell you the form they're filling out, the 13G/A. That's all internal SEC documents.
Okay.
There's the preferred shares, 13 million. 13,420,389. Latest shares purchased 16 million.
Basically 17 million.
Yeah, basically shares percentage of the company's 26.41%. Ownership percent, 7.4. It's really hard to get in these really big corporations to buy most of the stock or controlling interest right off the bat. If they have, shares percentage, 26 and 23%, they're getting on the board. You're going to be on the board of that corporation.
They're meaning have a say in the direction.
You have a big say in what's going on.
Yep.
But yeah, like you see all the different forms, like the 13G/A, 13G, 13G. Those are all forms that you have to fill out when you're doing big stock moves in the SEC or on the NASDAQ or Wall Street.
Now, from the look of this, they didn't really have any interest in CrowdStrike until 2020. And then by January 2024, they had an enormous interest.
Of course.
In this. What profit could they reap from CrowdStrike getting stabbed in the keister on this?
They can short their own stock.
They can short their own stock.
Yes.
That's
they can short their own stock. You can do options against it. There's all kinds of different strategies.
Now, walk this monkey through shorting a stock one more time. What does that even mean?
It's like you buy a stock normally. So you buy it at 10 and you hold it. It goes up to 25. You sell it. You make $15 of profit. That's the standard way. Well, they have reversed that to the inverse, actually. You buy the stock at 10, and if it goes down to 5 or 2, you get to keep the difference. Basically, you sell it back to them at the price that it's at, and you keep the difference. It's basically in reverse. Buy and hold. That's
Imagine if you could do that with a used car.
Yeah.
Holy crap. How is that allowed?
Well, first of all, it's when you short something, it's extremely risky because as long as that stock is nosediving or if it's going up, you can't get out of it until it dips, where then you could sell your portion off.
Right.
So we saw this happen with what's one of those video game stores. It was in the news like 2.5 years back.
GameStop.
Yeah, GameStop.
Oh yeah.
And basically, they found out that some of these big financial corporations were shorting GameStop, and then a bunch of people fuck those guys and decided to buy stock to keep the price going up, while they're literally ramming it into the ass of the mutual fund who's trying to make money on shorting the stock.
So the gamers retaliated against the financial industry.
And again, that's the internet.
There you go. That's a perfect example of that. That's the Ottisbergs going berserk.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's where the term meme stock came from. I believe it was GameStop and AMC.
I know it was GameStop.
Yep, and I think there was probably 2 or 3 other ones in there as well. But those ones were lesser known. But
what'd you say?
What a brilliant maneuver.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. Like when I worked for Joseph Charles and Associates back in the day, some of the people I worked with that was their specialty, was doing stocks. They were real bummer people too. They'd come in and they'd be like, I think that one's going to go. Yeah. And they'd have 5 or 6, maneuvers going at the same time. And as soon as like one would flag wrong, they'd just sell it and then keep the ones that were tracking. And some of these guys made so much fucking money. It was unbelievable. And they're only getting paid like 20% of the money that they're making for the firm.
I wish I could get like a venture capital starter fund to do that kind of thing, because I think I could probably track the pattern. I'm good at tracking patterns.
Yeah.
Very good at tracking patterns.
But yeah, these guys.
But that'd be too big of a risk. Nobody's going to invest in me.
But I mean, think
Don't
about
do
it. It is your job. It is your profession to bet on people failing.
Yeah.
It can't be healthy for your thinking, meat.
I can't imagine the emotional roller coaster involved there. Does any of this mean anything to you?
Yeah, they have to disclose their equity positions on the basically the Form 13F. It's the paperwork for the government.
Okay.
And basically, when they buy a large position, since they are it is their job to buy and sell stock. It's supposed to be closely regulated.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So whenever they make a big move, it shows up on the database. So that's what you're looking at right there.
Okay. What about disclosed call options? You know what that means?
Yeah. When you're doing a covered call, like say the stock is like $15 and they're offering a covered call, meaning that they'll give you $3 right now for the stock price of 15. So then if you do a covered call and say the stock goes to $25 and you have the covered call on it, you get to keep that stock at $25 and then take the profit.
Oh,
it's pretty crazy. And I'm rusty, so you don't hold me to this exactly, but that's what I used to do. I used to do the covered calls. There's databases where you could see what's going on.
Okay.
And you look at the stock history. If it doesn't really move much and you're looking at the graph, you're looking at the covered call, it's like $2 per share, and the share price is like $18.
Yeah.
You buy 1,000 shares and you keep the $2 per share.
Yeah.
And if the stock doesn't move at all, you still keep the stock at the end and you get the money.
Wow.
Yep. And I'm just glancing through the Rumble chat here. There's 2 movies that a couple guys are in here are talking about. Is Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, I know that one.
And my favorite one, Trading Places.
Yeah. Well,
again, this is we're not disclosing.
That's different. But
yeah, that's different.
We're not disclosing financial information. We are not financial advisors.
Nope.
Do with what you will.
But back when my thinking meat was whole, I used to mess around with this stuff. So I'm a circle thinker now. I can't do it.
Right. I get distracted too easily now. I get rabbit holed.
I lost my motivation for money. I'm just trying to help people and save
That's
lives.
fine. Yeah, I'm not really motivated. I'm motivated by quality of life, honestly.
I got you.
So what is BlackRock doing with all of this money, you may ask? You may wonder, why are we talking about all these stocks that they buy? Well, BlackRock spends record on U.S. political campaigns as ESG fight continues.
Wow.
This is 2022. This means that the gubernatorial elections in many of the states, all of a sudden, BlackRock has a vested interest in all of these things. This is for subscribers only.
Well, you just copy the link on the archive.today.
C I bet you this is already in there somewhere.
1 year ago. Yep.
And
Ba-boom, bada bing.
There you go.
All right.
BlackRock Inc. is pouring record amounts of money into the 2022 U.S. political campaigns as the asset management giant faces mounting scrutiny over its size and advocacy of sustainable investing. Now, remember, they were doing this same thing in 2020. I just showed you the map. They had connections to every single administration. China, the Ukraine. Nobody knew about Ukraine in 2022. I mean, you knew the name of it. You knew it was there.
Well, I talked about it in 2019.
We have a higher awareness of things like this.
Yeah.
Joe Blow at Starbucks, if you asked him about Ukraine at the time, is that they have the hot women?
Well, they do. They
They
used
do.
to anyway.
The company's political action committee contributed some $647,000 to congressional candidates, their leadership PACs, and political parties between January 2021 and the middle of October, according to the most recent public records before the midterm elections on November 8th. That's about 38% more than the committee gave them in the 2020 election cycle, and slightly more than half the sum. 331,000 has gone to Democrats so far this election.
And I bet you 10-1, BlackRock is connected to Dominion as well.
Oh, I know they are. I can show you that connection.
Yep.
Yeah, I can show you that connection through a couple of the names in the
So,
BlackRock staff.
Let me just say, are you guys getting pissed yet?
Yeah.
Because I am.
This is all you think it's a conspiracy. It's a bigger conspiracy than you think.
Yes.
It's Spectre from the James Bond movies. They're literally
Is that thunder?
probably.
All right. I want to tell everyone out there, if we have a storm, more than likely the internet's going to go out, and that'll be the end of the show. So I'm just preparing you right now for that. If that were to happen, let me check the weather.
Pop is checking.
I've had the internet go out already.
Stand by for weather report.
It's partly cloudy. Okay, I think we're good. All right, sorry.
So far, states including Missouri and Louisiana have pulled in more than $1 billion in public money from BlackRock's funds. New York City Comptroller Brad Lander said in September that the firm abdicates responsibility in not pushing corporations to do more to respond to global warming. What was that thing that I showed you on the map about BlackRock pushing? Oh,
by 2050, zero emissions.
Yeah,
that is not possible, especially when you cannot control.
Anyway, we're carbon-based life forms. I don't know why anybody talks about this shit.
Well, here's the thing: is it's never going to work if you can't get China and India to fall in line, which they will not. They're poor countries. People want to have a better, status of life. Good luck trying to control that shit.
The globalist goal is to reduce the freaking
to 500 million
expendable population to 500 million, and to have a uniform level of shitty poverty. That's their goal across the globe. They want a uniform level of shitty poverty. That would mean raising the Africans up considerably, keeping the Chinese right where they are.
And everyone else comes down.
And everybody else comes down. And your standard of living just goes away.
And you know what? We had a system like that hundreds of years ago called the feudal system.
The feudal system was actually a lot better than you think it was. The average peasant only worked 4 days a week. He was in church 3 or 4 days a week. There was a festival usually at least once a month. And then there were all of the holy days, which were also festivals.
But they were still poor.
But that is a myth pushed by modern education. I've been debunking it now for a couple of
I stand corrected. Give me the information.
Oh, we're going to have
let's do a whole show on this.
Pop goes medieval.
We can do this.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to write that
debunked a lot of that. I went through, I looked at it, this doesn't look right. Because the illustrations from the period don't match up with the stories you hear in school. The illustrations, they're like having parties, everybody's wearing brightly colored clothing, everybody looks pretty happy. And then you read the stories and they're like a poor peasants drudging in the mud.
All right.
My name is Thomas.
What about breaking on the wheel? The rat.
I mean, that happened, but that wasn't
gibbet
normal life.
Well, listen, if you're living in a civilization where somebody fucks up
acid and oubliette, okay?
Yeah, and if you're in a cage rotting on a poles and everyone has to walk by you.
But that wasn't the normal daily life, though.
But I'm just saying.
You play too much D&D and watch Willow too often.
I'm just saying it's fucked up.
You've been watching Willow again?
What?
You've been watching Willow again?
No. Well, the original one?
And Artigan in the cage?
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah,
I like that.
Willow, you idiot.
No. That's fantastic.
Dude, we are going to hell.
Dude,
man, that was one hell of a side.
Break out your medieval weapons for the episode, too.
Yeah.
There we go.
Winning.
So, but Jimmy might actually come on camera for that one, I have a feeling. The company responded to various critiques with an advertising campaign earlier in the year to explain its business managing money for retirees and brought on additional lobbyists in Texas and Washington to influence policy. Oh, so BlackRock buys politicians in Washington. This comes as such a surprise to me.
No. Our politicians are selling their dignity and sacred honor down the river?
Why would that ever happen? I don't understand.
Again, if you just follow the money, you look at their bank accounts when they showed up and what they are now and how much time they're in office, you could figure it out.
Oh, you were talking about how the traders would look at stocks and move things around and like abandon a stock that was doing poorly and keep going on the other ones and this, that, and the other. And BlackRock is evenly distributing its contributions among both parties because Congress is narrowly divided between them in control of the House and is expected to change hands after the November election, says Craig Holman, a lobbyist at the government watchdog group Public Citizen. They're playing the game well, which means they're playing both sides of the fence, which means they own everyone.
Yep.
So if you think it's just Democrats or you think it's just Republicans, these people want one thing. In the case of BlackRock, all of your money.
Yep. They want
In
the
case of
haves and the
WF,
have-nots.
They want all the power. They want there to be haves and have-nots, exactly.
Yeah. And listen,
And no in between.
the people up there literally look at you as a worthless piece of shit. They're glad to take your money, put it in their fund, and after that, fuck you. Yes, maybe if they fuck something up, you can get the SEC on them, maybe do a large class action where you get pennies on the dollar back.
Yeah.
We need to change how this whole thing works, to have more oversight, the ability to pull these people aside and spank their PPs and not send them to tennis prison, but to Gen Pop pound you in the ass prison.
My old boss, Mark Dreyer, went to white collar prison.
Yeah.
And was given an ankle tether and forced to stay in his $20 million New York penthouse with his ankle tether.
Yeah. Listen, if you're going to do this kind of evil fucking shit, you need to pay the evil shit price.
By the way, somebody in the YouTube chat hit the medieval thing right on the head, but it's a super chat, so we'll read it then.
All right, we'll read it later.
He nailed it though.
BlackRock executives contribute to the company's PAC, which then decides which campaigns to support. And they also can contribute to campaigns on their own. Think, amongst others, CEO of BlackRock, has contributed to campaigns in this cycle, including those of Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski, who we know is purchased, of Alaska, and Democratic Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia. So among House members who got the maximum $10,000 donations were members of leadership like Maryland Democrat Steny Hoyer, House Majority Leader, Representative Hakeem Jeffries of New York, the Democratic Caucus Chairman. The PAC also gave $7,500 to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. PAC did not donate to House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy of California or Minority Whip Steve Scalise of Louisiana. Both McCarthy, who is in line to become the next speaker if GOP wins, and Scalise, who are among the 147 Republicans who voted against certifying the Electoral College results, are after supporters of former President Donald Trump rioted on January 6th. I have a hard time reading that sentence because I know it's bullshit.
We were there.
Because we were there. We were there when all this happened.
Well, first of all, let's correct this. I watched it from Virginia, but I was there to watch him talk on the big screen. And then after that, I literally got on the subway and got out of the area.
Yeah.
Because my gut was telling me.
You could smell it.
Yeah, I could feel it. I'm like, oh, this is gonna
I had to wait until the second cordon said it's getting bad, and then I made the call to pull out to pull the
because I was not on. I was not on.
You were not on the detail.
No, I was not on the detail that day.
Yeah, you were on fourth cordon.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was not. Yeah, it was. That was not a riot. I can tell you that right now.
No.
BlackRock's PAC also gave to House members who might be committee chairs in January, including Florida Representative Vern Buchanan, who could lead the Ways and Means Committee, and Representative Patrick McHenry of North Carolina, who serves as ranking member. So there you go. They own.
Here's another thing BlackRock can do to influence hearts and minds. They are a financial firm.
Yes.
Their job is to buy, sell stock, to technically make profit for their, clients or investors.
Yes.
They know what they're going to do ahead of time. And all they really got to do is pick up a phone, call somebody on some kind of committee or whatever and go, hey, we're going to buy, 100,000 or 10 million shares of such and such. Maybe, you might want to pick some up. So the person in the government goes, buys the stock.
Yes.
BlackRock makes their move, the stock goes up, 20%, and then they just sell it. They got a 20% profit for doing nothing.
Many of the deals that Pop is talking about go on golf courses,
All the time.
in private country clubs, and at expensive steakhouses in Washington, D.C. None of this stuff ever sees paper. None of it is transmitted electronically. None of it is ever couriered or handed off to anyone. It is all, hey.
Word of mouth.
And
Yeah.
that's how they keep their plausible deniability.
Mm-hmm.
I worked Diplo for a year. I carried the colonel's hat and walked around, followed around and everything. But my job was to listen in on all the conversations around the colonel.
Yep.
And I could hear all kinds of, we're moving some stuff through this port over here next month. And you hear these conversations going on. And of course, I wasn't there long enough to listen to the whole thing. So I had to move with the colonel, but I would hear snippets of this stuff. And sure as hell, all of this stuff that I was hearing was like, it's how the world operates at the diplomatic level.
Yeah.
They don't make paperwork until probably the damn deal has already been done, honestly.
Or if, you have to actually get a license, get through a port.
Yeah.
Or, buy a bunch of stock. You have to fill out paperwork. That's when it starts hitting the books.
Yeah, it's a lot of backroom handshake deals. I'll move a bunch of stuff over to here if you bring in some stuff on this side here. And then they'll do the paperwork and stuff like that and make all this stuff happen.
Only because they have to.
But BlackRock does that and buys politicians that way in these steakhouses and clubhouses. It's how they do what they do. So over here to Open Secrets, Pop found this one and I really liked it. I forgot about Open Secrets. Little creepy. BlackRock Inc. Top affiliates BlackRock Capital Management. Contributions $354,246. This is for 2024. First of all, let's make sure we know what we're looking at here. This is 2024. They've contributed $354,246,000 to campaigns, but stealing from the Thursday show. I always wanted to say that. $740,000 in 2024 and $1,860,000 in lobbying funds.
Mm-hmm.
So math that real quick. That's $2.6 million exactly in lobbying, but only $354,000 in contributions. So that's 8 times the amount.
Let's just talk about lobbying here real quick.
Yeah.
All right. Back in the day when they, you would have the U.S. government doing their thing, and then there would be problems and things would take place, and people would come to the government and basically tell their representative or their senator what the hell's going on. That's basically the beginning of lobbying. Now it's a money game. And once you start throwing around money like this, you're going to start seeing people willing to take the money and turn away their obligation to this country. Because let's face it, AOC, if she didn't get elected, she'd be on a stripper pole right now.
Please no. Please, God, no.
I'm just saying. All right, please don't make that meme.
Imagine the grooves her teeth would make down the pole.
I know. but here's the thing: is like she, it came from nothing. In my opinion, with her skills and ability, without being elected, she would do nothing.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, she got lucky, got elected. People are like, hey, this is what we're doing. Here's some lobbying money, and we can make arrangements to have 100 people put $10,000, $20,000 in your reelection campaign, because that's what they do.
Now, if I had to guess, here is what I think is going on based on the human community and our counter ops overseas, what we've seen the FBI do with the shooters and everything. I'm going to bet you that these BlackRock lobbying groups have recruiters who go out into the community and look for a specific personality type. And then they ping that personality type.
Barack Obama.
Oh, yeah, maybe. And decide whether or not that person is going to be valid and viable for this position. And
So what
I think AOC is one of those recruits.
What you're trying, the word you're using is malleable.
Malleable. There is the word I am looking for. That is exactly the word that I am looking for. I think they do that. I think they're recruiting.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're recruiting. Crenshaw is definitely one.
What about the guy who was banging the Chinese spy?
Oh, Swallowswell. Yes.
I would even say.
Do you know she's dead? Do you know she died?
Of course she did.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
In a plane crash.
Yeah. Terrible.
Terrible. I don't know how that happened.
I don't know. And then we have Gary Peters is a senator for Michigan.
Yeah, same thing.
He's a royal piece of shit.
Yes, he is. God. I have dealt with him on several occasions,
yeah.
And he is a worthless POS.
Yes.
I'll say that to your face, Gary, you little Navy Reserve bitch.
Yep. And he ran against Rocky Roskowski.
Yes.
Yeah, who I personally know, and I would say is...
Yeah, you introduced me to Rocky.
He's a decent friend of mine.
Yeah.
He could be a little bit more, forthcoming with stuff, but each to his own.
I mean, it's what it is.
Yeah.
We all have all kinds of standards. So anyway, let's take a look at what BlackRock is doing here. Blue is liberal Democrat, red is conservative Republican. Look at this. They are evenly spread across the what the fuck is Nikki Haley doing in there? That's odd.
Yeah. If you ever bet at a racetrack, this is called covering the spread.
Yes.
It's exactly what this is.
Yeah.
It's gambling, but with politicians.
Yes.
How did we get here? This is insane.
It all started long ago in 1897 with a guy named Theodore Herzl.
Sorry, I may have gone down the other hallway there. Hang on.
Anyway, you can see that it's exactly what Pop said. It's covering the spread. They're clearly doing that. Okay, total for 2024 cycle, 354,000. We know this number already. Sources of funds, individuals from the organization, 0.
All right, now hang on.
So BlackRock isn't buying politicians. It's just that BlackRock is buying politicians.
Yes.
That's what this says.
But here's the thing that they do is they find the vote. They get their hands on the voting rolls, which are public knowledge.
Yes.
They look at your voting track record. If you haven't voted in a while, then guess what? You're the guy donating. That guy's going to donate money to the Democrats. And he might not even know it. They actually covered this. I believe James O'Keefe and
Pop, looks like we lost your camera there.
What happened?
You lost my camera?
Yeah, we lost Pop's camera there for a second.
Wait. I'm on it. Pop? Yeah. Somehow your camera went offline. Camera. Hang on. What one is it?
Let me check and see if it's on. Can you check? Can you see the screen?
Yeah,
it's on. Okay.
Fucking haunted, man.
Huh.
I don't know what's going on here.
Just happened to.
That's not it.
So, Pop, since they can't see you anyway, and I appear to still be on camera, why don't you get up and restart your camera really fast?
All right, hang on.
And I'll keep going here. Recipients of funds, as you can see, candidates got direct payments from these BlackRock individuals. And let's see, did that do the trick? We're waiting. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we're having technical difficulties. Ooh, Pop had to put it on his old dude glasses. We're blaming it on the thunderstorm currently.
Can we get a zoom in on that page there, Steve?
Yeah, let me zoom in on that page there real fast.
A closer look at those names on that list.
Just use my voice. Doesn't fucking matter. I'm still the same ugly guy as I always.
You really are, though. You really.
So you can remove the camera.
Oh.
Off. No, take me completely off.
I'm not taking it completely off.
If we lost all audio if we take you off, Pop, because you're the main one.
Okay. All right. Well, it is what it is. We'll just keep the voice going. Fuck it. We only got another 20 minutes, and then we're going to do super chats.
Oh, wow. This is crazy. I've never seen this happen before. Pop, are you still audible on the feed? Somebody in the chat tell me if Pop is still audible on the feed.
Yeah, Yeah, if we're able to hear him, yeah, we should be able to hear him. Everyone else should.
What an oddity we have here. I don't know about Pops being drunk, but I am. What's up? He's coming in 5x5. That's what we were looking for. Thank
That's
you,
fine.
Pete. That was Pete.
So
Yeah,
we just
what-
had a camera situation. All right. What are you going to
Fucking haunted, bro.
do? Well, it is haunted.
So, recipients of funds, all the money goes to candidates for the most part. Only 6% goes to leadership PACs, 2.3% to party committees, 527 groups, which is a political funding group, gets about 2.14%. So, you've got individuals of BlackRock handing individual candidates wads of cash. What could possibly go wrong? What
Well,
a peculiar thing.
Well, you could have a country go off the rails. You could have people wanting to get rid of gas-powered stoves for no particular reason.
Yeah.
Or try to push everyone to have a electric car, which is not economically viable because when the batteries go bad in 3 to 7 years, it's going to cost you 30 to 40 grand just
for the battery.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Then what
That's
could go
correct.
wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? Average contributions to members of Congress 1990 to 2024. Well, it was less than $1,000 in 1992. By 2022, we're looking at an average contribution pushing $8,000 to Republicans and around $5,700 to Democrats in 2022. 2024, that drops off considerably, but we're just reaching the election cycle there. That could still spike. But you can see as it goes along there, they look like they're buying a lot more Republicans than Democrats because they really wouldn't have to buy Democrats now, would they? Most of the Democrats are already pushing their agenda, and the Democrats are getting their money from stock kickbacks.
Yeah, I would, or information.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So
this is just nuts, man.
Yeah, this is crazy. And wait till we do the China Entrepreneur Club show because it is just as bad and probably worse technically because it's China buying your politicians as well and all of the companies that manufacture and process all of your food and lumber and all of your clothes and try to buy anything that isn't from China these days. I bought 2 pans that were made in the USA yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
My wife laughed because I was cheering because I bought 2 pans that were made in the USA finally. So there's that.
Now, listen, it is absolutely insane to me where we can dig iron ore here in the States, transport it to one of the coasts.
Michigan has huge iron ore deposits.
Yeah, put it into a ship.
Yes.
Send it all the way to China.
Yep.
And then they smelt it and do what they're going to do to turn it to steel and send it all the way back here. And somehow it's cheaper than making it here in America. That doesn't really, it's not panning out for me. It's, my brain pan is not really grasping that.
What you're seeing, I believe, is companies like BlackRock want maximized profits. So they take that ore and they run it through all of these systems and put it on their ships, and they're profiting every step of the way. They're profiting. They own the rails. They own the ships. They own a portion of the manufacturing in China, but the China Entrepreneur Club gets their cut there. Then the process is repeated and reversed. And then when it comes back here, it's the price that it should be. It's not cheaper than an American product. It's the price that it should be because they've over-regulated the American industry to the point where Americans have to do all these extra things and jump through all these extra hoops and have all these extra safety features. So they have to charge you more for the exact same product. So the Chinese iron, the Chinese cast iron pan, we'll just start with that, is the correct price. And if you want to buy the American one made in America, it's 4, 5, 6 times the price of the Chinese one. And you're like, oh, the Chinese one's so cheap. No, it's not. It's the correct price. That's what I think is going on.
And you're basically the difference in the price is regulations, taxes, and what have you.
Yes. They regulate and tax American industry to death, and they do it on purpose so that they can have their profit through that huge supply chain.
Yep.
That's all. Every step of a supply chain, somebody is profiting. BlackRock or Vanguard,
Yeah, because they don't,
or
they
Sequoia,
own,
or any of them.
BlackRock owns companies across all of the different industries.
Everything.
They own guns, they own appliances, cars,
Yes.
batteries, technology.
Yep.
Everything.
Yeah, it's amazing the amount of stuff that they own. We could go through this all day long here, but let's move over to this one here. This is total contributions by party of recipient, and you can see they tend to favor the Democrats a lot heavier for individual contributions, but the Republicans get their fair share too.
Mhm.
Total contributions by source of funds. Again, you can see BlackRock is not buying politicians. BlackRock is buying politicians. Okay, you need to understand that BlackRock is not buying politicians.
That is some circular logic.
BlackRock is buying politicians. Okay, do you get it?
Unbelievable.
Holy ass balls!
I'm sorry. I mean, this is the grunt in me laughing at the absurdity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy ass balls!
It's all you could do.
Wait till we can do a pharmaceutical one too. I think I can get my wife to agree. She sold wholesale pharma for years and knows so much just off the top of her head. She's forgotten more shit than most people will ever know. That is as evil as BlackRock, but on the medical side of the house.
Listen, most of our medical shit is made in China and India.
Yes, that's correct.
I mean, what a clusterfuck is that?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep. That's absolutely correct. And they're part of this whole Spectre organization.
Mm-hmm.
There's like mega pieces of it. This is the financial arm. There's the Chinese financial arm. There's the pharma arm. There's the food production arm. And there's the entertainment arm.
Yep.
And the manufacturing arm.
Entertainment is now propaganda. Please use the right term.
They don't have anywhere near the sway that any of these do.
I gotcha.
But yeah, you get the general idea. You can see the cycles of the contributions by party of recipient here. 2020 obviously was a very big year. Hillary really thought she was going to win and got nailed to the wall by the public. Trump didn't win. The public got sick of Hillary. Okay? And Trump just happened to be the recipient of that, the public getting sick of Hillary.
And I was sick of Hillary when she was still sucking Bill Clinton's dick.
Nobody liked her. She's one of the most unlikable people on the planet.
Yeah.
She's horribly unlikable.
I thought that was Monica's job to do that.
Oh, that probably
Meanwhile,
happened.
yeah, exactly. She's so unlikable that Monica's taken over
yeah, there you go.
the presidential pecker.
Yeah. And that ruined her life, by the way. So
Lewinsky?
Yeah.
I don't care.
I'm just saying.
I look. This is me not caring. I'm sorry. So last year, something happened that we didn't even really hear about. Protesters started storming BlackRock's Paris office, holding red flares and firing smoke bombs. This was April of 2023, so just over a year ago. Demonstrators forced their way into the buildings that housed BlackRock's offices in Paris Thursday, taking their protest against the government's pension reforms to the world's biggest money manager.
Well,
why? Because BlackRock is buying up all the 401ks.
Well, and they want pension reforms because BlackRock is using that money to influence, grease the skids,
Yes.
and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're not making their return, guess who suffers?
Yes.
The people who put their money in their trust.
That's what happened with Detroit PFRS. I worked that case.
Yep.
I worked that case for that's police, fire, and rescue services, their 401ks in the city of Detroit. The money all mysteriously got spent.
Mm-hmm.
And the case was so large that we had a warehouse for the documents and would get bankers' boxes on big carts full of documents that we had to scan and put together everything. It was a massive case, but that was part and parcel of this thing here. About 100 people, including representatives of several labor unions, were on the ground floor of the building for about 10 minutes, chanting anti-reform slogans. BlackRock's office is located on the third floor. The meaning of this action is quite simple. We went into the headquarters of BlackRock to tell them the money of our workers for our pensions, they are taking it. Now, when I say BlackRock is taking control of the 401ks, I mean worldwide.
Yes.
Well, Western worldwide.
Because there's no pension in China.
No. Nationwide protests against the French government's plan to raise the retirement age for most workers from 62 to 64 have now entered their 11th day. This was in 2023. The government triggered special constitutional powers to push the controversial legislation through Parliament without a vote. What did that just say? It said that the French politicians were purchased by BlackRock to push this legislation through.
Correct, without a vote.
BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, has played no part in these pension reforms, but workers targeted the company because of its work for private pension funds, according to protester François Onique, a teacher who spoke to Reuters. BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, had played no part in these pension reforms, despite owning all of the 401ks. I'm sure that's
Correct,
just something, you know.
Total coinkydink.
Total coinkydink. Don't know what to tell you.
Now, I don't understand what these people are thinking, because when they bankrupt the world, who do you think is going to come looking for them?
Yeah.
Because their names are all over
Right.
the internet. So it's not like we don't know who they are.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely
You're
crazy.
still trying to get my camera rolling?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if maybe I bumped something.
No. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. Listen, it is what it is.
Okay.
Every now and again, a driver goes bad. We've had fluctuations in power because of the storms.
Okay.
We'll just finish it out this way. We're almost done.
Okay. It's making me nervous. It's upsetting me.
I got you.
So that's in France. BlackRock is affecting the 401ks in France. And you didn't hear about this, did you?
Nope.
So then last Saturday happened. Actually, Saturday before last.
It's 2 Saturdays ago.
2 Saturdays ago. BlackRock linked firm under the scanner for shorting of Trump stock before assassination attempt.
Now, it wasn't just BlackRock. It was at least, I think, 5 or 6 other big hedge funds did it as well.
Yeah.
Meaning that everyone at the top of these, hedge funds were talking in a back room. They knew this was going to happen, and they bet and they placed their money on the board.
Yeah.
And they would have won big.
Most likely scenario, a couple of key people in these investment firms got phone calls or slips of paper at the country club that said short Trump stock, big event tomorrow.
Yeah, it sounds legit.
That gives them plausible deniability, that removes them from the actual assassination attempt itself. And these people trust each other on crazy levels with some of this stuff. Probably can't trust each other with their wives or their cocaine supply. But when it comes to their money, when these guys tell each other, hey, this is going to happen, they listen. That's how these huge profit trades happen.
Yes. Information is power, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Texas-based investment company Austin Private Wealth, which is owned by BlackRock, has come under scrutiny for a filing made just before the failed assassination attempt on U.S. presidential candidate Donald Trump. Companies vehemently denied accusations of attempting to short 12 million shares of Trump Media and Technology Group, attributing the incident to a clerical error.
Get the fuck out of here with that. All right, let's do the math here. All right, so they're saying what? It was 2 million?
12 million.
All right, so
12 fucking million shares.
All right, so 12 million.
Clerical error.
Okay. And if that was, it was roughly around $18 before it all took place. So they would get $18 of profit if they zeroed the company out times 18. They would have basically walked away with $216 million in profit. Boom.
Screenshots of the put option from a Bloomberg terminal circulated on social media but disappeared later in the day. Why would that ever happen? I don't understand. BlackRock's connection became more controversial when it was revealed that the alleged shooter had appeared in a commercial for the investment giant. BlackRock subsequently pulled the ad, condemning the assassination attempt as abhorrent and awful. Some speculated that APW had major holdings in Vanguard, there you are, and BlackRock funds, linking them to George Soros and the Rothschild family, further fueling suspicions.
People started noticing.
Correct.
People started noticing.
Yeah, we need to have some patriots watching all of these trades in real time and like literally reporting to the rest of the world exactly what these big wigs are doing.
Do
Because-
you not see what this just said? BlackRock communicating with the WEF,
Correct.
giving us our tie there. This gives us the tie.
Correct. That's why they want the one world order.
Yes.
Which they put on the Georgia Guidestones, which were mysteriously destroyed several years back.
Yeah. And not even a good job. They didn't even do a good job. It was like an embarrassing and the stone fell over and knocked a bunch of other ones over.
Yeah.
I mean, just do a good job. If you're going to do bullshit, do a good job. You know, at least entertain us.
Go big or go home.
Yeah, God. On Wednesday, APW addressed the rumors on their website. The SEC filing, we showed that Austin Private Wells shorted a large number of shares, 12 million, of Trump media, was incorrect, and we immediately amended it as soon as we learned of the error.
They caught us. Shut it down. They caught us.
The media company said they clarified that only 12 contracts or 1,200 shares, not 12 million, blaming a third-party vendor for multiplying all option contracts by 10,000. My gosh.
Get the hell out of here. You know, listen.
If you make an error like that in one of these trading firms, what happens?
You're getting crucified. They're literally nailing you to a cross. But there's so many stops and checks and balances, especially when you're going to make a trade of that size, you're going to have like at least 12 sets of eyes on it, like all the way from middle management to the top.
For that many, for a number that large?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, get the hell out of here. You are not going to buy 12 million shares in a publicly traded company and short it.
If this was an accident, we would see anywhere from 1 to 10 or 12 names of individuals who royally screwed the pooch and pissed the boss off.
Yeah.
You would see those names. They wouldn't hesitate to put those names out there if you made a mistake like that. They do it all the time.
Yeah.
Enron is the classic example.
They have no problem crucifying you for a fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, 1,200 to 12 million, get the hell out of here with that bullshit. Yeah. This is propaganda gaslighting to think, oh, no, they're not really doing that.
Here's further proof in the wording of their apology. We deeply regret this error and the concern that it caused, especially at such a fraught moment for our nation. Nobody uses the word fraud anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Just APW added, noting that they are reviewing our internal procedures to prevent future errors. Despite the controversy, those who shorted DJT stock faced losses. Following the Butler shooting, the stock price surged from $31.25 to $46.17 per share before stabilizing just above $37.
Okay. So they lost money.
Yes.
Yeah, they took a fairly significant loss.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is probably the last one we can get to before it's time to do the
chats.
Wall Street has purchased hundreds of thousands of single-family homes since the Great Recession. Here's what that means for rental prices. This is from February 21st of last year, but it is still going on today, and it is, in my opinion, the most insidious thing that's going on. BlackRock is purchasing as many homes and rental units as they can. They're buying them up. And Klaus Schwab said it out loud several times over the years. Nobody will own a home. You will own nothing and you will be happy. This is the first step toward that.
Yep.
If they can purchase your home out from under you and force you to rent, they now control you. They now absolutely control you because you are completely at their mercy for having a place to live.
Yep.
Personally, I don't think that's going to work as well as they think it's going to, but it is definitely their goal. Corporations backed by private equity groups such as Blackstone and Pretium Partners, might want to look those up, Blackstone and Pretium, bought tens of thousands of homes across the U.S. Sunbelt. I bet you they're owned by BlackRock. Prices for detached homes have increased faster. They're up to $463,000 for a 2-bedroom family home right
It's
now.
ridiculous.
Institutional investors do not yet control a large market share in housing, but analysts writing at MetLife Investment Management suggest they could be by 2030, which is right around the corner. That's 6 years.
That's how fast it's going to go by.
Institutional investors may control 40% of U.S. single-family rental homes by 2030, according to MetLife Investment Management. And a group of Washington, D.C. lawmakers says Wall Street needs to back away from the market. What we're saying is don't have private equity firms buying up single-family homes.
Well, there's that. All right. We should not allow any foreign powers to own any fucking property in the United States.
Yes.
They can lease it, but they should not have the right to own it. Listen, the America is meant for American citizens. They're the ones that should be allowed to buy, own, and sell property in the country. That's just me.
Yep. But isn't there a certain country that's been buying up a bunch of farmland that's coincidentally right around military bases?
Correct.
That's all about the China Entrepreneur Club, and we'll do a whole show on that. It'll be fun.
All right. Let's get to the super
Yay.
chat.
Okay, we're going to leave you with that cliffhanger with the housing thing there. I highly recommend you research this stuff. Pull my list off of the show and look at it. Let's get to those super chats.
All righty, we'll start over here on YouTube, and of course, we're going to do a quick head count. We're going to do a quick roll call around the chats here. We got 479 over on YouTube, 416 likes, acceptable. Over on Rumble, you guys are struggling, man. See, I don't know.
Punish you, Jimmy.
There may or may not be some bot viewers because we have 900 even on Rumble and 286 likes.
I think it's a fat Hillary.
Punish them.
So
I'm getting a little tired of Hillary. How about this one?
Bent the whole world over and says thank you very much.
Give it to me, daddy. That's what she keeps screaming. Give it to me, daddy.
Oh my God!
Oh my
it's so
God!
bad.
Oh no!
No!
I want to gouge my eyes out. All right, that was pretty good,
Okay.
Jim. All right.
You're welcome. Oh, and hey, Pop's back.
Yeah, I don't know what
Yeah,
happened.
yeah. No, I don't know what happened either. All of a sudden, the camera light came on and said "start camera," and I'm like, "Okay," click that, and boom, here he is.
Yeah, it's probably a bad camera or something.
I got nothing.
Yep.
I don't got it.
Alrighty, over on MGTOW.tv, we got 30 over there, and I've been scrolling through there, and well, MGTOW is doing MGTOW things, and much appreciated, gents.
All right.
We got let's see here, 25 over on Odyssey, and over on DLive, we got 9. And for those that don't know, Papa's over on X or Twitter, whatever the fuck you want to call it. We're streaming over there too. Yeah.
Yeah, we took what, Twitch off?
Yep, we replaced Twitch with Twitter. So we took out the Twitch, put in the twat. We got 32 viewers over there.
Okay, it's a start. It's a start.
Let's start.
Winning. All righty, we'll jump into these super chats here first. Over here on YouTube, we got St. John for $10 says, hello, Professor Battledwarf. I have a suggestion I would like to run by you. I was wondering if you and Pop could do a live stream on history, the good and the bad, of the Democratic and Republican parties.
Oh God, that would be ugly.
Well, we'd have to break it in two.
Yeah,
to do Democrats first.
We'd have to do 2 shows there.
Me and Blake covered the Democrats about 3 or 4 years ago. And
It's time for a new one though.
Their
Before
shit
the
show.
elections.
Yeah.
Do that before the election.
Yeah, that's ugly. That's an ugly reaching Chelsea Clinton ugly.
Wish granted.
And whenever Chelsea Clinton gives a
No.
it counts as anal.
No.
No. Don't want that imagery anywhere near my retinal nerves.
You're welcome. All right, next one here. We got Chad Layton. He doesn't have a comment, but he does drop a $50 bill and walk out the door.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're a Chad, literally.
Thank you, Chad. Chad the Mad Lad. Yep. All right, we got Sean St. George here. I believe this is the medieval question here, $4.99. Were feudal peasants poor, or were they far more self-sustaining than we are now, so they didn't need as much money, so they appear poor in the books?
That is exactly it. By modern standards, they appeared poor, and that's what breaks the spell.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yep. All right, we got Solon the Lich with 50 ARS here. Says, you mean it's easier money to bet on failure while BlackRock is pushing for DEI verse companies that put their foot in the mouth nonstop?
Correct. And listen, those companies that bought into that DEI are gonna get fucking mercilessly punished.
Was it Microsoft or one of the big companies just fired their entire DEI section? They just went, cut them off.
That was Microsoft, and I hope that John Deere is going to be the next one because they are planning on moving their assimilation plants down to Mexico.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a whole different story about John Deere. Fuck them guys. See, Sean St. George here is coming back again with $9.99. He says, I'll super chat this. Duck Murkowski. Pretty sure that's a spelling error, but we know what you're saying. She had to cheat to win with ranked choice voting here and lost the GOP nomination and still won the election. She is not liked well here in Alaska.
Oh, yeah. No, I know a guy up in Alaska that has said all kinds of crazy shit about her.
Hey, Steve, bring it up a little closer.
Mike, there, better?
You're good.
That better?
Yep.
That's because if I put it too close here.
You get the Darth Vader breathing.
Yeah, so.
I got you.
We get Darth Battledorf.
Darth Dwarf.
Darth Dwarf.
Dwarf.
Carry on.
Let's see, you got 99 Kresnik here with $10. Says, if one wants to simplify it, it began with Usury. Read Thomas Aquinas on it. Creation from debt from nowhere, and thus claims to wealth of the productive as far as finance goes.
It began with usury, and you are correct. Yes. Thomas Aquinas is a very good read. You should read that.
There you go. Let's get, Hermitage Prepper here with $5 says, "Love to hear Pop notice. I'm glad someone with as much clout as you is hot on the trail, and you old bloodhounds, you shut it down."
It just is what it is. I'm not doing anything but stating facts.
I mean, I don't really have a lot of clout. I'm just a dude that got pissed off at the world and started telling the truth.
We have heard people on Fox News quote you.
Yes, I know.
I have heard a candidate on Hell's Kitchen use the word redonkulous multiple times.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
And,
Anyway, carry on.
Let's see. Chad Layton, he's come back. Big Chad the Mad Lad. He says, "Please, Jimmy, no more Hillary. I can't handle the eye cancer."
The eye cancer.
Yeah, well, since you asked, I'm not going to play Hillary. But how about
gynecologist?
Gynecologist. I got to write that down.
Since she was mentioned earlier, and I wanted to make a joke, but you guys were too busy yapping, I'm going to go ahead and play this one.
Dude, I look so old in that.
There you go. All right, we'll
You
jump
are
over
not using, my friend.
jump over to Rumble here. Got the chat popped out here, and first one here of the night comes from, let's see, scroll down a little bit. MGTOW Mando here. He says, isn't insider trading what it's called when Kamala is looking for a new boss? Asking for a friend.
Yeah.
There's definitely a knee pad joke in there somewhere.
I don't call her come swallow a heels up, pull my hairs for a reason.
Hey, Jimmy, you might want to turn up your mic a little bit.
Yeah, you're fading
coming
out too.
What
now.
the hell?
I don't know. I haven't touched any of Blake's magical settings. I don't want to disrupt his 7th level protective spell he's got on his board here.
All right, there, I gave it a couple clicks up. How am I doing now?
Yeah, you're doing okay.
That's better.
That's better.
There we go. We got Pixels GTOW here with $10. What is this Black Crook firm you speak of?
Oh,
Blinky face.
BlackRock, yeah.
Yeah, that's it right there.
What?
Never mind.
Never mind. Digital Do here with $2 says, hello, gents. I'm in the hospital again. Sent more details to Pop's email. My kidneys came close to failure.
Son of a
shit.
bitch, man. I hope you're doing all right.
I hope you get better,
Yep.
man.
I did see that email, and I will be sure to star that for Pop to read on his leisure time.
If there's anything we can do, let us know. Write us an email.
Yes, please do. Please do. See, Berserker Brad, 1983, sends $25, says, FKH.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think you want to do that because you may or may not get a dickworm, dude.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Well,
It's always a benefit to pee nice.
Yeah.
It was
We had
actually
JB, now it's FKH, and frankly, I mean, I think just looking at her in person might cause you to get herpetogonosyphilis.
Yes, I think you get contact buzz of
the greatest community notes I've ever seen on Twitter was people reposting the clip of Montel Williams walking down the red carpet with her and his daughter. Who is she? Who is she? Kamala. And the post was yeah, here you go. Here's Kamala Harris being Montel Williams' side hoe. And the community note was these two Montel Williams was not dating anyone else but Kamala, so therefore she was not the side hoe, she was the first hoe.
that's a good burn.
Oh, I laughed my ass off here.
That didn't make it better now, did it?
No.
No.
Carry
Moving on. Mando coming back here says, speaking of wieners, has anyone seen Anthony recently?
No, he was disappeared. He's memory hold. He's probably not even allowed to enter the DC city limits anymore.
Probably not. He's probably sitting somewhere on a private island doing things. But, Mando also has a request.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Nobody likes you, Mando.
Nice.
Aye.
Let's see. Paladin BR here jumping in. It says, we know how everyone around Trump is in on it, but by how they kept kneecapping everything he tried to do.
That's correct. I witnessed some of that firsthand during the stuff that we did in DC. We got fairly close to his office because of one of the people in our protective detail, and the staff in the White House had completely isolated the president, wouldn't even let Sidney Powell anywhere near him, and she was his attorney at the moment. So, yeah.
Yep.
Fun times. Paladin BR coming back again says, the bond between Clinton and Soros just deepened with Hillary's prime aide getting hooked up with the Soros kid.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Huma Abedin married the young Soros.
Yeah, the guy
that is a romantic relationship.
I'm sure it is.
I'm sure there's a lot of
moonlit baby sacrifices.
Yep.
You said it, not me. What? I was what? Huh?
I know nothing.
I know nothing. Mando coming back here says, Battle Dwarf, when it comes to the like button, should we wrap it before we tap it? I don't want to get herpetogonosyphilades.
Always wrap it
before you tap it.
Yep. M. Tyler 11 with $5 says, no, Pop, they failed to smash the like button. She must dance. Well, who are you talking about? You talking about Nancy? You talking about Hillary? I don't know, man. Maybe we'll mix it up a little bit.
Why?
Damn it.
And again, I really wish you guys could have my point of view because I have the two little windows at the bottom of StreamYards here and I can watch them squirm. It's fucking hilarious.
You're such a bastard.
Hey man, I'm not the one asking for the clips.
It's uncomfortable all of the time.
I'm just as traumatized as you guys are, man. So don't be blaming me. I'm just the evil button pushing monkey.
Yeah.
Just do what I'm told. Broken Pine 284 here, jumping in $5 says, what's the connection between APAC and BlackRock?
I'd have to look, but I guarantee you there are connections there. I absolutely guarantee you there are connections there. I would imagine that some BlackRock board members have sat on APAC's board and vice versa. I absolutely guarantee you there are connections there. I just have to find them.
I'm sure they've both sat on more than each other's boards before. Just saying. See, Morgrat here says, remember when O'Keefe recorded the BlackRock guy out, guy saying you could buy a senator for 10K?
That's true. That's true. I remember that.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah. Let's see. Paladin coming back here again with $10 says the irony of the annoying opinionated cunt.
Yeah.
Sounds refreshing. It really isn't. Is that she's not from nothing. Her family is Westchester Iric, upper middle class. She was slumming. She was a slumming failure bartender, POS Hume, before her casting call into Congress.
Yep.
Yeah,
that is true.
Yeah, she would have had to have some sort of background that they could vet to their satisfaction, which just makes me believe all the more that she was specifically recruited.
Well, she won her primary the first time with 18,000 votes out of a district of 450,000 people or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, the thunderstorm is going on pretty well outside, so if all of a sudden everything gets dark in here, you know why.
Yep. I'll try to burn through these here real quick. Mando coming back in, listening to this. I almost wonder if we should call BlackRock Blackrock.
No, they are fucking us, so.
They are. We are getting the BBC.
Yes, we are.
Yep. Ugh. And not the British Broadcasting.
That's even worse. That's even worse.
Oh, God. Let's see. Shellback Stones, he's dropping a $50, so he gets our second We're Not Worthy of the night.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Thank you very much.
He says, late to the party. Clearly this is a shit show. Can't wait to watch the replay. Here's some cheddar for cameras, HDMIs, or to, just chuck at a stripper.
Oh, I remember his coming through right when when your camera went out.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it come through right at that instant.
All right, let's see here. We'll see what else we got here. Mando's coming back in. Pop, a proposal. Knowledge is power. Information is ammunition.
That's absolutely correct.
That might have to go on a shirt with a really badass logo on it. I like that.
Write that down there, Jimmy. Let's put that on a shirt.
Let me write that down real quick. Write it down. Let's see here.
I'm getting texts from our 17th level wizard who says, heard you had some tech trouble. I'm going to upload a technical difficulties video to StreamYard that'll give you 2 minutes to sort out shit in the future. Thanks, Blake.
Thank you, man.
Blake can sort shit out in 2 minutes. It took us 20?
Well, we didn't.
And then it sorted itself out.
Sorted itself out.
Right,
so
exactly.
I'm thinking it was a cable or a connection.
I don't. Anyway, there you have it.
Or Casper could have stuck his dick in the connection and,
That's entirely
It is haunted. It is haunted.
There you go. Tomahawk here with $10 says, excellent show as always, gentlemen. Keep up the good work. I'll spare you the Nancy.
Thank you.
This one time.
Thank you. I'm just looking at the weather map here. I want to see what's coming. It's passing us right now.
It's passing us?
Yeah, it's passing.
All right, got Alucard 1776. He's got a request, but we're going to play the short end because we're going to be short on time, and we may or may not get shut up by a thunderstorm here.
Stop!
Yep.
Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square. Stop!
I don't know why that video is so disturbing, but it is.
Is it the dancing cats or the dancing pop?
Both.
Yes.
There you go. Professor Blake Pooh Ass Blaster 3000 here. He's jumping. He says, I guess Battledorf looks like Gandalf the Grey and Pop is the sidekick.
I'm not thinking that's the way it works, but okay.
Whatever.
There you go. Paladin BR, he's jumping back in. He says, it's not John Deere, it's Juan Deere.
Saw that coming right away when he said it.
Juan.
Digital Do here says, throw me some prayers, guys. Indianapolis on Thursday, 6 appointments, getting up at 0500 to get there on time.
Wow. Holy crap, dude.
Yeah, I hope
prayers sent.
Man. Prayers, man.
Absolutely, man. And again, if you need help with anything, man, let us know.
Yeah.
The regiment has your back, man.
We will.
Here we go. All right. Cliff3188 here jumping in. Says, Pop Battledorf, you guys were intel analysts, right? Your Lincoln pattern analysis skills are weak sauce. JK, thanks for the breakdown, gents. Stay awesome and love you. No homo.
Oh, please.
Weak sauce.
Oh, please
Okay.
bring it up.
I'm cool with it. Doesn't bother me.
He is asking for
Dark place you do not wish to go to.
He is asking for one video that we haven't seen in a while, but we don't have it on the board. He's asking for the ball snap fart.
The ball snap fart.
What?
It's a classic. Guy screwing around with one of those exercise bands, and he snaps his balls, falls on the ground, and then loses control of his bowels.
How do I not have seen this before? I'm curious, but not curious at the same time.
We'll have Blake dig it up and send it to you. You'll love it.
Yep, there you go.
It never
Let's see.
gets
Barrett McMusing here with $5 says, this is a $5 cry for help. Please, for the love of God, no more deep fake Democrat hardens and skimpy costumes. I can't guarantee you that, bro. I'm sorry. Says, I know they're fakes, but I know they're fakes, but it plants a seed that needs to go away forever. Trust me, bro. I wish they would, but
Barrett's recovering from a leg surgery too. So
they just keep coming back. Let's see. Susan McCarley here jumping in $5 says, thanks for tainting my new flowers.
You're welcome. You got perenniums, huh?
Perenniums.
I bought a bunch of perenniums at Walmart.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what they're called, Stanley.
Yeah. Actually, today I took my mother for the first time since she went in the hospital. We took her to Home Depot to buy potting soil and plants so she could work in the garden.
I know that's her big thing.
Yeah.
I know that's her big thing.
And I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
We walked all around there. She had to stop.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you doing okay?
Catch
She's
your
like,
breath.
I'm old, but I'm fine.
Okay. So you go.
See, N2 Gas here jumping. He says, BlackRock is a Hydra. Hail Hydra. There are at least 2 more heads of that monster. Between all of them, they sidestep all manner of laws and regulations.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I specified that.
Jimmy,
Yep.
you bump up a few
100%
times.
correct.
You're fading out again.
Oh, come on. What the hell? Hang on.
Push the button.
It is what it is. What are you going to do? You there? We can barely hear you.
What the hell? All right, hang on.
Now you're just gone. What's going on over here? Where are we?
I'm
up
cranked up to the max right now. What
That's
the hell?
weird because you just literally your audio went away.
All right. Well, let's just finish up.
BlackRock is a Hydra. There are at least 2 more heads. Okay, we got that one here. Western Citizen chimes in for $1. Says cats make better single moms than humans. I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess that's true.
Can we hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. M Tyler 11. How about now? Son of a bitch. I'm gonna have to get a new fucking microphone here. $50. Pop to save another platoon. He's got a $50 here.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Yeah. Also on Thursday, we're going to read, I believe we have 550. We're going to read them into the record on Thursday.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay. Mando coming back. Battledorf, be glad I prefer tormenting Blake. I have one that will probably make Pop puke. I'm saving that for Thursday.
Well, now I'm going to have to watch it on Thursday.
Oh, God.
Oh, no. Yeah. If there ever is a make Pop puke episode, MGTOW Mando and Crusader Nate, join that stream. Get in there.
I believe.
Please don't. Let's be cool here, okay?
Yeah.
Let's see. And last one here on Rumble here is from Digital Do. It says, send Dwarf the Carlson video if he hadn't seen it.
I don't know what that's a reference to. There's a chance that I have seen it.
The motherfucker Carlson.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Maybe that one. Alrighty here.
Yes, I have seen that one.
Alrighty, and again, apologies for the technical difficulties and whatnot.
Yeah, we're having a night.
Well, we've got storms and all kinds of shit going on.
It's a night, but we'll jump over here to the MGTOW chat. Best chat on the internet, guys. If you're not over there, you're fucking up by the numbers. Because if you're bored of hearing us talk and whatnot, the chat will keep you occupied. Trust me. And Mungo Harry here, he threw in $25. I would put this up, but we are on YouTube. Let's just say there is a nice set of double D's caressed in blue and lace.
Okay. We don't want to strike, so we can't show it to you.
Not showing that. Sorry. Again, join the MGTOW chat. Crazy Uncle here is $10 says, email with attachment I promised. FYI, that attachment is far too big for the show, but it was for you to review and discuss offline. I did notice that email, and I did get it started for you, Pop, for you to have some toilet reading. Let's see. Mountain Man 9395 here says, basically a covered call option is like selling an insurance policy and collecting premium on the stocks as you invest as an investor currently own. If price goes up, you're considered in the money going past the strike price, and your stocks will automatically get sold off electronically if your option expires. If the stock over time goes down, your premium you collected acts as a hedge against lower stock value, and you keep the money and at the lower stock you as an investor own. Want explain to the audience. And you made my brain do the dot matrix printer with that one, bro.
Yeah, I know.
There you go. What the stuff you learn on this show, right?
Yeah.
There you go. All right, here. Let me do one quick refresh over here on Odyssey. It looks like we just had one donation over there. They threw in 353 library coins. Let's see. LJ's home base says, hit a block. So here you go.
Thank you, man.
Winning. All right. It doesn't look like no lemons over on D Live tonight. So we'll jump over to the Cash Apps here. Oh, excuse me. Let's see here.
All right.
Find where I was at. God damn it. Shit's jumping around on me, man. Let's see. Looks like. Yep, this is the first one here. It looks like we got $5 from HKC. No comment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Let's see here. Next one here is from Lynn for $10. Says, take my money before BlackRock gets it.
We'll spend it more wisely, too.
Yep.
There you go. Let's see. Lynn back again says, with $10, says, for what's left of my money, fuck BlackRock.
This seems to be a theme.
Yep.
Just a little bit. And let's see. William sent in $20 on the Cash App. Thank you very much there. And look, got another $10 from Lynn. Says,
thank you, sir.
For Kamala and Mayor Pete equals oral and anal. What could go wrong?
Yike.
Wow.
Yike.
That was good.
Just make sure that you're not switching, because you never go ass to mouth.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Ugh, that's how you get an infection. And pink eye.
Are you covering Cash Apps now?
Yep, that was all of the Cash Apps here. Let me double check, make sure we're not missing
There's a
one.
B in here.
Nope.
Yeah, it could be.
Let's see. Let me do one more run through here. We got a Big Chad the Mad Lad, the actual Chad the Mad Lad here, $4.99. Says, I wonder if Tucker Carlson will ever see the motherfucker Carlson video. We need to get it to him.
I'm sure he has seen
I
it.
might know a way to get that to him.
He's had to have seen it by
Jan
now.
Has been on Tucker's show, which means he has contact with his producer. Let's give it to Michael Jan and see if he'll pass it to Tucker's producer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We have tentacles.
And yep, there. I just double checked over on the Rumble side, and people are roasting me on my headset and microphone. Yes, I am going to upgrade here very soon.
Mine died at my house. I have to get a new one.
Hopefully, we don't fuck this fucked up. But then again, I'm using a $50 mic from Staples, so
there you go.
Yeah,
it's worked.
I have 3 or 4 of them laying around the house. So if one goes bad, I just keep going.
Yes. Alrighty, let me do one more quick look. Looks like all of the Cash Apps, all of the donations have been talked about, spoken about, and notified. So, Pop, I believe we're ready for a safety briefing.
All right. Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and swim. Never works out. If you want to fornicate, wrap your tool. Don't be a fool. Flush it down the toilet or carry it with you when you leave. If you have to engage in violence, run first. If you can't run away, do everything in your power not to go to the ground, because that is where you get stomped out. Rack up, pack up, travel in numbers, and maintain your situational awareness. Because if somebody is going to attack you, something in your environment will have changed, and it's up to you to see it. Boom. There we go.
Alrighty. And Battle Dwarf, any final words from you tonight?
I'm going to use my last moments in the sun here to say Big Chad the Bad Lad threw another $1.99 at us and said, amen to it, Battle Dwarf, to the Michael Yon idea. I'll give it a go. Domasters012 threw us a $5 and said, I suspect BlackRock is part of the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns from the Book of Revelations that forces the world to worship the dragon, which is, of course, Satan.
Yep.
I could buy into that. And Tomahawk over on Rumble, I turn around, there's another one here. Jimmy, am I correct that you're in Nebraska? If so, I'm right down the street in Kansas, planning a trip to South Dakota. Anything I should check out in your state on the way? Jimmy, over to you.
Chimney Rock is nearby where I'm at. There's the Scottsbluff National Monument. There's that. That's about it around here, unless you want to go to the lake nearby and check it out. Walk up the lighthouse there, and that's about it. That's about it. And then you can drive around and cruise by the cornfields. Just be sure to not pick up some strange.
They have lakes. Pick up some strange.
It's totally not like I know anything about picking up strange and taking them to the cornfield or anything. Totally don't.
Nice.
But alrighty, and my final words is I'm going to take some advice from the chat there. Knowledge is power, information is ammo, and if you're going to half-ass bag something, don't half-ass bag something, because we want to see some fun shit.
Yeah.
We don't condone violence. We don't advocate for violence, but
if it happens, it happens. That's the way history works.
We understand. So, yep. Alrighty, gentlemen, I will be sure to upgrade my shit, get it all unfucked and tested and wrapped in rubber, because I don't want to get it disgusting again.
All right, man.
Unfuck your shit, Jimmy.
Take it easy, everybody.
Take it easy.
Take it easy.